how's it going? It's Sam Frost here, back with some more digital marketing advice. Now in today's video, I want to talk to you about why it is you might be being bombarded by Google Ads support reps. So if you've got a Google Ads account and you're spending money with Google, you may have come across a rather pesky situation where your phone just keeps ringing and there's someone from Google calling you any old time of the day, often at a pretty inconvenient time. I tend to find that's just Murphy's Law, wanting to offer you a sort of free consultation or schedule in a call to give you advice. They've got recommendations or optimizations to share, basically an account strategist from Google. Now, what I just want to do today is discuss why that's happening and whether you should look to act on their advice. So if Google keeps ringing you to basically give you advice for your Google Ads, is this something you should be pursuing, or do you need to kind of proceed with a bit of caution? So first thing to bear in mind or to note is that with Google Ads, there are really two key levels to support. If you're a smaller advertiser, the support you get is not very good. If you've got a problem with your ads, like an ad's been disapproved or you can't get a feature working or whatever, you're kind of pushed in the direction of the community support forum. Sometimes you can get some email or live chat or phone support. Sometimes that support's been okay in my experience as well, but you don't have a kind of dedicated person or line you can call up where you know you're going to get some really good support. As you grow in size, once you reach a certain size, or if you're working with a certain size agency who's managing enough spend, you do qualify for better support. And I want to make a really clear distinction that higher level Google Ads support can be very good indeed. Back at an old job, for example, I was part of the business I worked for was part of a group that spent substantial money with Google, and we had a superb account strategist, a sort of account manager who worked with us on a regular basis. He helped us solve a lot of problems we had with various things like, products being disapproved incorrectly and ads being blocked and all sorts of things like that you really want support for. It was fantastic to work with. So that higher level of support is one thing, but most of the clients I work with, most of the businesses I'm dealing with aren't spending enough on Google to qualify for that level of support. Instead, what you get is this kind of basic support on demand if you need it, and sometimes it's helpful and sometimes it's not. But what you also get are these calls coming through where these Google account strategists are offering you free reviews, and they're offering to go through your account and share recommendations and optimizations. Should you be pursuing this? Look, in my experience, the answer is no. I'm yet to come across any of these Google ad support phone calls or strategist reviews where the advice that's given is good. It's not to say that it can't happen, it's not to say that it doesn't happen, but I have not seen it yet. Really what you have to think about and sort of conceive this support as, these strategist reviews, is that it's basically Google trying to sell you more services. They want to sell you more advertising. They're looking for opportunities to get you to try new types of campaigns. For example, if you're only running a search campaign, maybe they can convince you to try a Google shopping campaign or a display campaign or a YouTube campaign. If you're spending $10 a day or $20 a day, maybe they can convince you to spend, double your budget or triple your budget or whatever it is. In fact, one of the more sort of egregious examples I've seen of this Google Ads support going wrong is where a client was approached by Google Ads. They said, one of these Google Ads support reps, they sort of went through a call and helped them increase the budget without that client really understanding what was going on. They didn't really have the knowledge of the platform. And I know you could say, hey, look, the buyer has to beware and you should know what's going on in your own account, but not everyone's got that technical knowledge. And I thought it was pretty poor form of them to basically push someone towards spending a way bigger budget than they thought they were spending. When I came along and sort of helped them out, they really didn't understand what had gone on and how they'd been pushed towards spending a whole lot of extra money, and of course they weren't able to get anything back. So if Google is calling you all the time, what should you do about it? What can you do about it? I mean, look, you might want to hear them out and see what advice they've got, but you should always sense check that, because at the end of the day, okay, I'm incentivized to say this, but you could go to many other experts who can do a great job with Google Ads as well. You're better off to go and pay someone who isn't Google, who's not really on commission for the advertising itself, but who maybe you're paying on an hourly basis or a project basis to go and review your account and make recommendations and make changes and those kind of things. Whereas with Google, what they want you to do is increase your ad spend. Whereas someone like myself might review your account and say, hey, actually your ad spend level's fine. If we just adjust your activity, you're going to get way better performance. So with this free service, you're effectively the product. Google's trying to up your spend. You do need to bear that in mind, so you just want to be a little bit wary. So what I would do is probably not even bother hearing them out. If you really feel like you need to, then do that, but don't implement anything without really understanding what's being done. Don't give them any permission to make any changes on your behalf. You need to kind of list everything out and then go through it and do it yourself. It's one of the reasons why I don't really like it, is because they'll often say, hey, we can't support you via email. You've got to do it over a call, and then they're trying to get you to make the changes during the call and everything. You want to kind of work through things a bit more methodically. To be honest, I've tended to find it not that successful to say, hey, don't call me back. What happens is the account strategists or support people seem to change out every so often, and they'll just call you again. There must be some kind of internal schedule they're working to. What I just do then is just find it's probably better to block the numbers. You know, you'll get the same number calling you from time to time. Just block it. I really don't think you're missing out on much. Now, I'm happy to be corrected. If you've had one of these free strategist support calls and you've had good results, fantastic. That's good to hear. Please share your experience. Let me know in the comments section. But over many accounts I've looked at where I've either participated in these calls or reviewed the recommendations that were given or come and reviewed what's been done after the fact, I've not seen anything being done that I would, recommend as a professional myself. It tends to be, something that's benefiting Google. Maybe there's a bit of a benefit to the advertiser, but it's more about trying to juice up your ad spend and get you trying out new features. So yeah, hopefully you find that helpful. If you're finding Google's calling you lots about ads, just be wary, just think about it logically. Google's trying to give you support, but the support tends to nudge you in the direction of spending more. Why would they be doing that? Oh, well, it makes sense because that's how they earn revenue, or one of the ways they earn revenue as a business. So just be wary, stand up for yourself. Don't feel pressured into taking those recommendations, even if you're getting called lots. You're better off just to block the number, or just say, hey, please do not call me back about this. If you sort of ask nicely enough and firmly enough, they tend not to call you back. If you just ignore the calls, you'll keep getting them though over and over again. Sometimes you'll get emails trying to book your calls as well. If you're stuck with this, do let me know. Happy to give you some more advice. You can email me on info@samfrost.co.nz. You can leave a comment and I'll get back to you. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.